92.3 WTTS. Matt Pelser with you. And in a few weeks, we will experience awe in the path of totality. The total solar eclipse will arrive on Monday afternoon, April 8th. And back again on this program is author Bryan Brewer. Hello again, Bryan.
Hi, Matt. How are you doing?
I couldn't leave you alone. We got more to talk about.
You bet.
And indeed, I think we're going to have you back every week until the big day, if that's all right.
Sounds good to me.
So I read your book. I read Eclipse, Experience Awe in the Path of Totality, and I learned so much about eclipses, and it made me even more excited. I didn't think I could get more excited, but I am about this once-in-a-lifetime event that's coming to our town for the first time in 800 years. And indeed, Indianapolis will get just under 4 minutes of totality, which is a lot. And I read in your book that along this line of totality that stretches through Central America into Texas, up through the Great Lakes region into Canada, the longest duration will be enjoyed by Durango, Mexico, and that's going to be about 4.5 minutes. So my question is, what are some of the factors that determine how long the eclipse is?
Well, first of all, it depends on where you are. For a particular eclipse, the width of the path of totality is determined by how far away the relative distances of the sun and the moon. So if the moon is a little farther away and can cover up more of the sun when it passes in front of it, then the path of totality will be wider. And conversely, if it's a little closer, the path will be more narrow. And if the moon is even closer to the Earth, you'll have what we call an annular eclipse, like we did in October. It won't completely cover up the sun. So that's the key factor, is the distance that the moon is away from the Earth. Now, for a particular location, for example, in Indianapolis on April 8th is right near the center line of the eclipse. You'll get the maximum. If you get farther out towards the edge of the path, which is about 120 miles wide, you'll experience a shorter time of totality, simply because if you imagine the shadow of the moon is basically a circle or an ellipse that will fall on the Earth. If you're closer to the edge, then you're not going to get as much of the shadow covering you up for as long a period of time.
I think the last time we talked, you said you were going to be in Ohio for the eclipse. Do you know how long your totality duration is going to be?
Just for practical purposes, I'm planning to be in Dayton, Ohio.
Okay.
Which we'll get about 2 minutes and 15 seconds.
Okay. When we're talking then about matters of seconds, like Indy's going to be just under 4 minutes. Bloomington and Franklin and places in between are getting just over 4 minutes. They're kind of right in the middle. In your professional opinion, as the guy who wrote the book and who's seen, 5 total solar eclipses?
6.
6 now, half a dozen. All right. So in your opinion, is it worth it to drive out of town for a few extra seconds?
No.
No?
If you're already in the path, you're going to get at least a couple of minutes of totality. Don't go anywhere, because April 8th is likely to be a traffic apocalypse.
Okay. That's important to know, right? So it's going to be.
So people in your listening area, if you're in the path, you're inside enough where you get a couple of minutes of totality, don't go anywhere. Just go out in your backyard and enjoy it. You don't have to do anything special. I say that there are 3 things. Make sure you're in the path. And so fortunately you guys are. Get some eclipse glasses or use a pinhole projector to view the partial phases of the eclipse. And then during those few minutes of totality, provided you have clear skies, you get an awesome view of the solar corona, and you can look directly at that with the naked eye.
Bryan Brewer is the author of Eclipse, Experience Awe in the Path of Totality. You can get it at eclipsebook.com, or I'll put a link up on the Mornings with Matt Pelser page at WTTSFM.com if you want to check it out there. Order it before the eclipse on April 8th, Monday, April 8th in the afternoon. Bryan, what a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Matt. I'll talk to you soon, and best wishes for clear skies.
Clear skies indeed. Thank you, Bryan.